Please don't say Henry Golding.
No, I'm not going to say. Oh, he's very sweet. We did interview him once, and he's very sweet.
He's so handsome.
We have this ongoing joke where we don't really shit on Henry, but we just tease him a lot.
We're just hating. We're drinking a haterade right now.
He's such a beautiful human being.
He's so handsome. And in the top it off, he's so nice, too. And you're
Is
just
he?
like, oh, my God. You're nice and beautiful. Ugh.
Welcome to The Worst Asian Podcast, where a couple Asian American millennials give you our shitty opinions on all things Asian. My name is Lingjie. I'm here with my co-host, Ben.
Hi, I'm Ben. I am Asian.
Is that a thing? You just say you're Asian? That's your introduction?
Yeah, like the Marvel guy. I am Groot, but I am Asian.
That's a gray area of racism right there.
It's okay.
I had this thought. You know how I've always talked about in terms of babies, actual babies?
Yes.
Mixed
Infants.
Asian babies are the most beautiful thing in the world.
Yeah, respectfully.
If you and I had a baby, that would definitely not be the case. That thing is going to be
The opposite of that.
fugly.
I will add to that.
We've got a guest on today to talk about everything within the Mixed Asian diaspora.
Yes.
She is the editor-chief of Mixed Asian Media, singer, actress, and all-around amazing person. Let's give it up for Alex Chester-Iwata.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Honored to be here.
Welcome, welcome.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. I saw that
of
you just came
course.
back from the West Coast, right? You were out there for
I did.
Joe Coy's...
Easter Sunday. Yeah.
How was it? Was it good?
It was good. It's so much fun. It's a really feel-good film. And I think no matter what ethnic background you are,
Yeah.
you will definitely relate to the family, intergenerational, all of it.
The mom telling you, like, hey.
Yes. Joseph.
Joseph.
Yes, I shouldn't do the accent. But yeah, it's... Oh my God, I'm going to get canceled. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really liked it. And it was cool because I have a couple friends in it. So it was really fun
nice.
to see them on the screen. And and I got to take my mom to the premiere. So that was kind of cool.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I
sweet.
usually don't get a chance to do that. So that was really nice. And it made her really happy.
That's good. Family
Sweet.
first, guys. I like that.
100%. Okay. Can you give us a, quick background on who you are and what you're about for our listeners?
Sure. So I'm an actor and the creator and editor-in-chief of Mixed Asian Media. It's an online platform for Mixed Asian Pacific Islanders. We have original content, including articles, interviews with celebrities, exclusive photo shoots with celebrities, opinion pieces. It's kind of like a lifestyle magazine, but heavily on the entertainment side. I would say that describes me in a nutshell.
You kind of have a lot going on. So, when you're meeting someone at the bar, platonically, of course, and
Professionally.
and they just ask you, what do you do for a living? What's your go-to line? Because you must have something, right?
Yo.
Yeah, I usually just say that I'm the editor-in-chief of an online magazine. And then people are like, what's that? And that usually opens up the door to explain everything.
That's a lot.
Because not to be rude, but everyone's an actor, right?
Everyone's also a podcaster nowadays, so
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That too. Everyone has a podcast, except for Mixed Asian Media. So that tends to be a little more like, let's open the door to a different conversation other than the woes of Hollywood.
when you get to an Uber and you get a very talkative driver, sometimes they ask, why are you in the city? What do you do for a living?
Where are you coming from?
You've got two answers, right? You've got one for when you feel actually talkative.
Yes.
They're going to ask follow-up questions. And you got a second one where you can just say, I'm in finance. And then that just ends the conversation right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly, I don't really have a good answer because either way, if I say I'm an actor, they're going to be like, what are you doing?
Right.
What are you in? I guess the best way to shut it down is just be like, nothing.
I'm retired. I don't do shit.
I'm retired.
I won the Mega Millions recently.
Right?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into it. Mixed Asian Media. You kind of briefly went into it. What exactly is Mixed Asian Media?
Mixed Asian Media is a community for anyone that identifies within the Mixed Asian diaspora. Growing up, I didn't have that community. Mm-hmm. I was literally the only mixed kid in school, the mixed kid in the entertainment industry and in Los Angeles. And it was really frustrating not seeing anyone that looked like me. So I fortunately have a ton of mixed Asian friends here in New York City. And I literally said, hey, what if we started our own like online magazine, and they all went, that's a great idea. They probably regret this now, but it's a great idea. And we started off known as Hapa Mag, and we transitioned to Mixed Asian Media last year. Just because not everyone identifies as Hapa.
Right. Yeah, Hapa is a Hawaiian term that means like mixed Asians, right?
It literally means part. And it came about because of the colonization of Hawaii and, you know, of course, the mixture of cultures and then you have the Hapa Hali. So that's the full term. So I really wanted to be very mindful of that word. And if you talk to some indigenous Hawaiians, they're like, yeah, use the word. Our language is dying, please. And then some other people are like, no, this is our word. Don't, you know, please don't take it over. So I think it just, you have to, as long as you come from a mindful place and know the history of the word, I feel like you can use it. But obviously it's not my call, but really it's up to the individual. That's why in part we transitioned to the word to Mixed Asian Media. It also is kind of self-explanatory. People tend to get it right off the bat of having to go into the whole spiel of what's the Hapa. And then it's been very helpful with working with various PR companies. They tend to understand right away. Though every now and then I'll get a PR person being like, hey, do you want to interview so-and-so? They are Asian American. And I'm like, that doesn't mean they're mixed.
Yeah. If Ben and I have a baby, it would be half Korean, half Chinese. Yes. That's not necessarily what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're like, you guys are just mixing more Asian.
I mean, it just depends. I feel like if your child, right, felt that they came from a mixed cultural background, that would be one thing. But at that point, I think it's up to the individual.
Makes sense, yeah.
By the way, I was going to say, I have cousins that are half Korean and half German. And they grew up in like St. Louis and shit.
Yeah.
My cousin was like he was a star quarterback and a star baseball.
Are you just bragging about your cousin at this point?
What I'm trying to say is
good for your cousin.
Yeah.
No, he's lazy. Like after he peaked in high school. But what happened was that like
he's one of those guys, right?
Yeah. But the thing is like he was saying like no matter how successful and like how great of an athlete he was at the school, you know, he was still dealing with like, you know, like being targeted,
because
you know, like,
he was the Asian guy.
Yeah, he was the Asian guy, you know. It's tough out there, you know. So it's cool that you're doing this.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So going back to, I want to know like your role, your day to day.
Oh my God.
Yes, please. Exactly. Please. I'm sorry.
What time do you wake up? What kind of coffee do you have? What's your exercise routine?
So my day-to-day, specifically for Mixed Asian Media, is a lot of answering emails. I'm probably on my computer 40 plus hours a week answering emails, connecting my various writers to various PR people, setting up interviews, arranging photo shoots. And then also we're in the process of producing our second annual Mixed Asian Media Fest. Yeah. So that's a whole nother ballpark. And that is reaching out to sponsors, confirming with sponsors, making sure they're paying my fiscal sponsor, making sure I'm getting their assets, making sure that I am sending it on to my managing editor, Sam, who then puts it on the website. I'm currently trying to get our press release done. And also make sure that our lineup for the festival is set and solid and we're selling tickets. It's a lot of moving parts. I wear many, many hats within Mixed Asian Media, and so does my managing editor, Sam Tanabe.
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope you're, maintaining self-care in the process, or like,
Yeah.
I'm really
find time for
trying.
that coffee.
Oh my God. My self-care is kind of gone out the window slightly. It'll get better after September when the festival's done. But I go to therapy once a week and I try to get a workout in every day.
Nice.
I've had to switch to getting those like daily harvest boxes with like the meals already done.
Yeah.
Just because like I wasn't making time to eat. And it's kind of ironic because I love to eat, but I literally was like, oh shit, it's 4 p.m. and I forgot to eat.
I think eating is important.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Eating's important. Just a little.
Yeah, I heard it's good for you.
I'm trying this. And then I try to really like at least once a week do something fun with my friends. Go see a movie, go get boba. Yeah, it's a lot.
Can I ask, was Mixed Asian Media a COVID baby, or did you start things up prior to COVID?
Ooh.
So we started in 2017.
Oh, okay.
And I think that was good because it really helped establish us. Like we were doing quarterly in-person gatherings with our community. But then it really picked up during COVID. Especially during the lockdown, we were recognized by the Nielsen Consumer Report on Asian Americans as one of 3 online magazines.
Congrats.
Then we had our festival, which was all online. We had over 200 attendees, over 100 speakers, over 60 exhibitions with a 1.1 million reach. So
Damn.
I think between all of that during COVID, it really did help amplify us, especially because people were so desperate for connection when you were in lockdown,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Stuck at home. You want that socialization.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we were hosting like IG Lives and Clubhouses, all of that fun stuff.
COVID, obviously, there's a lot of bad shit about it, but it seemed like in some ways it did help you guys and your platform to grow a little bit more than you might have been able to.
It definitely
Or at least
heightened
grow
it.
in a different
Definitely
way.
heightened it.
Yeah, and at least in a different way. I think it's made us have a bigger digital imprint.
On behalf of the listeners out there who might be wondering, do you guys do like a print version of your magazine or is it just online?
We do not. It's just online. I am wary to start that venture. One, save a tree. And
True,
two, you can just look it up on your phone. It's so easy just to see content now. I mean, I won't even pay for a $1 subscription to the New York Times, which is terrible. So
I think you kind of were talking about it, but what's like your worst and your best like experience for doing all this so far?
the worst has been the burnout, and that is real.
Based on how you described your day, I can see where you transitioned that to like multiple days, multiple months, years. It's easy to burn out that way.
It really is. When I start to feel myself getting to that point, I have to take like a couple day break, whatever that may look like. I'm very bad at taking breaks. I'm so tunnel visioned and driven, which is good and bad. But I really like after the festival is done, before I've been asked to speak at the ACE Next Gen convention in October. So before that, after my festival, I am going to go on a vacation and I'm going to sit by pretty water and do nothing.
Like no emails, turn everything off.
No emails, just nothing. Like
Just disappear.
Just disappear for like hopefully a week.
You got to really put the phone away because I call bullshit to a lot of people who, not you in particular, but I call bullshit to a lot of people who say they go on like a detox on vacation and stuff, but they're on that beach with that cocktail and the phone is in the other hand.
Yeah.
That's true,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I really try not to do that. Every now and then I'm like, I gotta do something for the Instagram. So let's throw something up. But I really try to like, okay, you're only going to do that for like 15 minutes. And then after that, you are just focusing on your surroundings and trying to be really present and mindful in the moment.
There you go.
Especially when things are going well, you feel like you need to strike while the iron's hot.
Yes.
Those are the hardest moments to take like a break from everything.
You always say that, strike when the iron's hot. And yo, Alex, Lingjie does everything. I swear to God. I'm just like, and I feel bad sometimes. I'm like, damn.
I am the editor-in-chief. I am the CEO, CTO, CO, whatever.
Do you have a,
I scrub the toilets too.
you cook the meals too?
I cook the meals in between
the
episodes.
cafeteria. Yeah.
Right?
Props, you do everything. It is tough.
I do worry for him. I'm like, yo, don't burn out. Take your time, blah, blah, blah. If you got to punch me in the face, go for it. Whatever you need.
Yeah, seriously.
I was just like, yes.
She wants me to punch you in the face.
I mean, it's terrible. Thank God I'm vaccinated and boosted. But I was actually very happy that I got COVID a couple months ago because it meant that I actually could take like time off. I took like 5 days off from not doing anything. Oh my God. My friends were laughing at me. They're like, this is ridiculous. Only you would want to catch this. I'm like, I know, but I just need some time off.
I was like, I need a legit reason.
That's like the universe telling you, slow the hell down.
Yeah.
Here's a sickness, a temporary sickness. Now like go rest and recover a little bit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You were mentioning before, I guess this is what's taken up a lot of your time, at least for the next month or so. Mixed Asian Media Festival. What is that about? When's it happening?
So it's happening September 16th to the 18th in person in New York City. And then starting September 14th, our online content will be available as well. It is a festival celebrating mixed APIs through the creative lens. So I feel like so often as mixed Asians, we're always like, oh, woe is me. I don't fit in. No one understands me. And that tends to be our ongoing narrative. And I really wanted to create just a celebration of all the cool shit we do and just bring some really cool people together and make it just show that there's a community and there's support out there and just something just like a love fest. So that's what I really wanted to create. And that's why Mixed Asian Media Fest came about. And also it came about because I kept getting people sending me emails of, hey, I have a short film. Hey, I have a full length feature. Hey, I have a documentary. And I was like, cool, what do I do with all of this? And then, silly enough, once again, my friends need to tell me, no, Alex, bad idea. I was like, what if we had a film festival?
Oh, yeah, because that's so easy. Let's just...
That's so easy. And then my friend, Michaela Ternansky-Holland, who's an amazing, like, Webby Emmy winner producer, was like, yeah, let's do it. And she literally took my idea and turned it into, like, Mixed Asian Media Comic-Con.
Oh, that's
like, it wasn't just a festival. It was a con.
You said this was the second one or the third one that's coming
This is our second one. This is our first in-person event since the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
Do you feel like in some ways, because it's in person this year, it's going to be better or worse? How are you thinking about that?
I'm nervous, of course, with, the rise in numbers with COVID and monkeypox. We're trying to play everything by ear and just keep checking on the numbers. But because we are capping it at 100 people on the first day, which we're calling it Ma'am Prom, because who doesn't like a 1980s themed prom? And then the next 2 days...
I saw the pictures on social media. It was funny.
That's a good one.
Samsonove, did that photo. I couldn't stop laughing. And then the next 2 days are going to be capped at 75 people. So it's going to be relatively small. And we wanted it to be that way, one, just to bring the community together, make it more intimate. And also just because there's not that, we're all volunteers and...
You don't have the resources to have like hundreds.
Yeah, that's responsible though. Yeah.
What about the portion of the festival that's happening online on the days afterwards?
So online, all of our films that are in competition will be available to screen. And we also have some really cool panels. Like we have a director's panel, we have a producing panel, we have a writer's panel. I have an interview coming up with, she has created this really cool food service. She's mixed Asian. So it's going to be some stuff like that. And the mixed space is also doing a virtual workshop as well.
Oh, nice. Very, very nice.
It is like Comic-Con, where they have like that elevated table and they're like, okay, so we have a question with this one.
Oh, yeah.
Panel. So,
Oh, yeah. It really is that. And we also have swag, some really cool swag. We have some really amazing product sponsors.
Very, very, very nice. If people want to get in on all this, if they're in the area or they want to go to the virtual one, where should they go to find out more information about tickets and whatnot?
So you can either go to mixedasianmedia.com/fest, or you can go to mamf.eventbrite.com.
Okay, I will have the actual links to all that in the description box down below. So if you don't feel like typing, just click on the thing on your phone, okay?
Thank you.
Ben and I are waiting on our media passes so we can get that exclusive.
Can we get
I absolutely
VIP?
will. Absolutely. It may be made out of paper and in a Sharpie, but I'll give you a sign that says VIP.
It just says, hello, my name is.
She just takes like a Post-it, like a fairly large Post-it, and just laminates it.
Just stick it on, you guys.
Ben, a VIP.
It's like, I'm Alex's best friend. Don't you know that?
Basically BFFs.
Yeah.
Besties.
Yeah.
She hand wrote this pass for me.
You should be honored. But no, absolutely. You are welcome. And I would be happy to provide your audience with a $15 off discount code to our all access pass.
Oh, more information on that in the box below as well, okay?
Oh, gang, you go.
Aside from the festival, is Mixed Asian Media or yourself working on any other projects? Is there anything coming up?
Yeah, so I am
it sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot.
Well, let's start with in August 25th, I will be... They are flying me to San Jose to pitch my company at the Cal Asian BIPOC women-led small business competition. Other than that, but out of 80 applicants, 5 of us have been chosen to pitch our business.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good luck. Fingers crossed.
Thank you. I'm a little nervous. I feel very sometimes out of water when it comes to this entrepreneur world, just because I've been so heavily in the entertainment industry. In a lot of ways, it's very much the same, but in a lot of ways, it's very different. So I really have been making it up as I go.
Nice.
So we have that August 25th. And then October 13th to the 16th is the ACE Next Gen convention.
That's a big convention.
Yep. Myself and my managing editor, Sam Tanabe, will be speaking at the event.
Very nice. Lots of big things going on.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah,
lots of big things going on. I'm really... Oh, and also, I guess, another event, August 20th, I'll be flying back out to LA for Strong Asian Leads in-person event as well.
Just to go back to what you said before about like feeling like you're just trying to make this up as you go. I've always said to people, and this is like, I guess, life advice, career advice, sometimes perfection is not important. It's consistency and just putting yourself out there and doing it. because you learn as you go. No one goes into any venture, any career, any kind of like podcast and knows exactly what they're doing, right? But through the process of making it happen, that's when you learn what your strong traits are, what your weak traits are.
Yeah.
So you should feel okay because you've gotten this far just by winging it, right? As you said, like just by figuring it out as you go.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've come to realize that a lot of it is about connections and making the connections to various people, and I'm willing to send out an email introducing you to another person.
Yeah.
And the same thing is just having the guts and courage to ask for what you need.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of times people feel like they can't ask for things and they have to do it all on their own. But I don't know. I see all these cis white men asking for shit and they get what they want. So I'm kind of like, what would a cis white male do? I'll do that.
We need to fight that stereotype because as Asians, it's partially true. That's one of those stereotypes that is kind of true. Yeah. The fact that sometimes we are reluctant to ask for things that we may very well deserve, but because culturally that's not who we are to do it.
Etiquette wise.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, with this podcast, I've never been afraid to ask certain people to connect with, for business, to come on the podcast, because what's the worst someone can say? No, right?
Exactly.
That's it. You have to be okay with hearing no, and sometimes people are scared to be rejected.
Right.
I think I'm, fortunately or not fortunately, having grown up in the entertainment industry, I'm very much used to rejection.
Yeah, thick skin.
So I was kind of like, okay, you don't want to do it? Cool. Moving on.
Yeah. My friend said it once, he's like, a closed mouth never gets fed.
Yeah.
And I was like, as soon as he said that, I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense.
But what have you done with that term since you heard it?
I just yell a lot, but there's nothing. But I have no demand, so
You're just yelling for
it's just noise
for the sake of yelling.
Yeah, it's just noise.
Oh my God. Okay, is there anything else that you want to talk about mixed Asian media?
Sure, I just like to shout out Asian Hustle Network because I also think that having been part of the top 50 unsung heroes this year has really also helped amplify mixed Asian media and has opened so many doors for us. So that's also a really cool group, and they had a great convention in, oh God, was it April?
Vegas, right? Yeah, shout out to Brian and Maggie.
Yeah, do you guys know them?
We don't know them, but I know of them. Yeah.
I will connect you.
There you go. There you go. See, this is what happens. I will, without any fear, ask Alex to connect me with whoever she knows.
Yep. There you go.
My God, I absolutely will. That's one thing I also love I feel like so often, one more thing about mixed Asian media, so many other media outlets or organizations are gatekeepers for our communities.
Yeah.
And unless you are of a certain caliber or level, they won't open the door for you. And that's something I really don't want mixed Asian media to ever be. If I have a connection and I think that you're a good fit, I will absolutely make that for you. Because how else? It's all about community to me. Community first.
Exactly.
And I think we need to showcase our community leaders and our small businesses and all of that. If you're not making $100,000, who cares? Let me showcase you. Maybe you will then.
That's really cool.
Sometimes it's not your individual success, but the success that you can bring for the whole community that's sometimes more important.
Oh, absolutely. I fully believe that.
What's up, Bill?
I wanted to actually wrap the second half of this episode around, I guess, growing up mixed Asian. For the listeners, what kind of mixed Asian are you?
So I am half Japanese American, half Ashkenazi Jew. Third generation on both sides. My dad is Japanese and my mom is Jewish.
And where did you grow up exactly? Which part of the States or
I
elsewhere?
grew up in basically Orange County, California.
Okay, the OC.
The OC.
OC. Well, actually Long Beach, California, LBC.
She's like, wait, let me specify.
Our only context of the OC is literally from that show.
That's all I remember.
I mean, it's not that wrong.
People are like, what is that show? I never heard of it. For anyone that remembers
It's not that old. Alex, do you remember that show?
I do remember that show. Yeah. It's old. We're old, guys.
I was gonna say, I was like,
old.
dude, it's fucking old.
Dude, we're old.
We were like in middle school, I think, when that came out. I think. Well, I'm speaking for myself, I think.
That was like post Dawson's Creek, right? Or was that the same era?
Dude, you're losing the guess even more. They're like, Dawson's Creek.
They're like, what's that?
James Vanderbeek? Who's that?
Okay. Sorry, Gen Zers out there. I'm really, really sorry. So you grew up in the OC. What was it like growing up there as a mixed Asian person?
Fortunately, the elementary school I went to was incredibly diverse.
That's good.
Which is really a weird thing to say, though I was the only Jewish kid there.
Oh.
So I ended up getting a lot of anti-Semitism because of being Jewish. So I had kids telling me I was going to go to hell and, where are my horns and all sorts of terrible things. I didn't really experience any racism as a half Japanese kid in elementary school, but primarily as a Jewish kid. Definitely experienced a lot of racism in the entertainment industry growing up in it as a mixed Asian kid.
I've heard a lot of bad stories about the entertainment industry in terms of everything.
Stuff. Yeah,
everything,
we were talking about that
yeah.
before. What was like your exposure then, I guess, like to both sides? Like, did you have like one side you got more of?
My mom and grandma really raised me. My dad was not very much involved in my life until like 20. He passed away in 2021. No, 2020 at the beginning of COVID.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Damn.
And your dad was
RIP,
the Jewish
RIP.
side, sorry?
Japanese.
That was the Japanese side. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Fuck cancer. So.
Oh, yeah,
Damn.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, fuck cancer,
Yeah.
yo.
Oh God, it was awful. Not to like ramble, but it was the start of like the shutdown. And so he was in, Orange County, and we knew he was going to die soon, but his doctors wouldn't let me come out. They were like, you can't come out. You're in the epicenter of COVID. You will expose everyone. And so it was it was awful. And my mom couldn't even get to the hospital to be with him. Like it was.
Damn.
I remember that period where it's like even if you had like grandparents, nursing homes and stuff, you couldn't see them and stuff.
Yeah.
Couldn't see them.
Holy shit, I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah, I didn't see my family for like 2 years. It was rough. Thank God for FaceTime. That's all I can say.
Thank God for Zoom. Yeah, seriously.
Oh, God. It's really tough.
Can you speak Japanese?
No, my dad didn't speak Japanese, so I sure as hell don't. He was very Americanized, and I think that's in part because of internment. His parents were interned. My grandfather was part of the 442nd Regiment, 444s, right?
Oh, you said third generation, right? So,
Yeah.
that's what you
third
said. So
generation. Yeah, so no one
history.
speaks Japanese. And I feel like because of being interned, it was really discouraged to be Japanese, and it was really encouraged to assimilate into American society and culture.
So then, if your dad wasn't around, and sorry if this gets too personal, you can stop me at any time then. If your dad wasn't around, did you ever find yourself kind of longing, not for him in per se, but I guess for his side of the culture, just to see what that was all about? Or were you just content as a child?
I think I was content as a child just being with my mom and grandma. I think now that I'm older, I would love to explore the Japanese side a little bit more. But I feel like as a kid, there really wasn't the language around wanting to multiculturalism. Like there really wasn't that language around that back then. I definitely think Gen Zers growing up now will have that language to be able to express, hey, I want to learn more about this. But for me, it really wasn't. And also like, I think being in the entertainment industry, I was so being forced into a box constantly.
Okay.
Were they steering you towards being the quote unquote token Japanese person for like a project?
Oh, absolutely. But the problem was I wasn't Japanese enough. I was down to the wire for a couple major TV shows on Disney Channel. And it was to the point where they were drawing up my contract. So I was going in for my final like screen test, and the room was filled, and like I thought I nailed it. But my feedback was they really, really loved you and they want to hire you. But, you're just too exotic next to the white lead and you'll pull focus.
Oh, my God. It's like you're not enough of it.
I'm trying to process exactly what this means.
So that was one of the other things where like, oh, you just don't fit the family dynamic because God forbid we have, an Asian dad and a white mom situation that didn't exist back then, which it does now. So things are getting better.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But I was always like the token Asian kid because I also modeled, of course, as you do.
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah.
Of course. So I modeled a lot for Mattel, and like my hand is on the rollerblade Barbie that they discontinued because kids were spraying hairspray on the blades and that would spark and catch them on fire.
That's a nice tidbit.
Yeah, random fact.
Random fact. I like that.
Random fact, right? But when it came to the commercials, actual like the national commercials of these products, once again, the feedback would be, oh my God, they love you, but she's just not Asian enough. She just doesn't fit in. Exotic was okay for the box, but God forbid I be in your commercial.
Damn.
I'm trying to think of a good analogy for this. Exotic, but not exotic/Asian enough. It's basically P.F. Chang's, right?
Yeah.
Where it's exotic, but it's not authentic enough. Sorry to hear that you had to deal with all that shit.
Oh, I mean, God, I can go on. There's so much racism, being asked to do an Asian accent, and you're like,
oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, we hear that from a lot of people too. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you hear that a lot.
Yeah.
One of my favorite stories is I was up for an off-Broadway play, and the character was Japanese American, and then it had the dialogue in English, but she's supposed to be speaking Japanese. So casting says to me, "Can you speak this in Japanese?" And I said, "Well, I don't speak Japanese." "Oh, just make it up."
Wow.
Yeah. That's
Oh yeah. And
That is pretty fucked up. You can say it,
Oh my
Ben.
God. That's
Yeah,
fucked up.
real
man.
fucked up.
Yeah.
I wish at the time that baby Alex had the chutzpah to say, "Fuck you, no, that's racist."
Yeah,
but
go
I
fuck
was
yourself.
like, sure.
Oh my God.
I'll try to make this up. I mean, obviously now I'd probably laugh in their face and walk out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
with the middle finger up in the air.
Can I ask
yeah.
how long ago was this, roughly?
That was when I first moved to the city, so like 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Have you
Different
seen like a
times.
shift in, I guess, dynamics over these 10 years?
It's definitely gotten better. There's more specificity, so they
Okay.
don't ask for just the Asian accent. It's like, we want a Korean accent or a Japanese accent or this region accent. So like that is good. It's still hard for mixed folks because we're lumped into the ambiguous category.
I was thinking about Joe Coy, where he like impersonates all the different types of Asians. Since you're talking about Asian,
Oh my God, he's so brilliant.
yeah.
You know, I was just thinking
I
about
know that exact
That's
skit.
just
Yeah, yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, the whole
Yeah,
bit.
sorry, I was just thinking about that randomly.
I've always said comedians
Yeah.
get a little bit more slack, although nowadays it's kind of
Yeah.
changing, but comedians
Yeah, yeah.
get a little bit more slack in terms of what they can get away with.
That's true.
Absolutely. I think they should in a lot of ways. It just depends. Of course, it should just be by topic, but I do worry if we start policing things. They are like the frontliners.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, I'm not saying like what some people are saying is correct, because by all means, no, but I just worry about the policing of it.
I think a lot of times society wants, like, let's say one rule and try to apply this one rule to a vastly large number of situations when things are very unique on its own and really should be case by case, but it's too tedious for,
Yeah,
for the
that's
general
a good
public
point.
to like
Yeah,
take
you're right.
everything case by case.
That's a good point.
They just want like, does this fit X, Y, and Z box? If yes, cancel. If no, don't cancel.
Yeah, I don't have the answers. Oh yeah.
That's okay. We're just all. This is all like a social experiment. We're still trying to figure shit out.
You mean life? Life is a big social experiment.
That's what
Life.
this is, man. Can I ask? Do you have any favorite moments being mixed and shit like that sticks out and stuff?
I mean, most of my favorite moments have been since I created Mixed Asian Media, to be perfectly honest. That's really been it. What's been wonderful is like having people like either see me at an event or DM me and just being like, what you've created is so wonderful. I didn't know there was anything like this. I finally feel seen and heard.
Yeah.
And there's a safe space for me. So that's been really wonderful. And that's been my favorite part about being mixed.
Nice.
Is it weird to say that I've kind of seen like being mixed Asian is becoming much more hip and cool these days?
I always thought it was really cool. I was like, damn, I wish I was mixed. I always thought that growing up.
You didn't like being 100% Korean?
Me personally.
But being Korean is so in right now.
This is true. This is 100% true.
But Alex, you know what it is? I'm so not Korean. I can't speak a word of fucking Korean.
You can speak some Korean to your parents.
but
yeah,
it's so bad. Yeah, I feel like an imposter, man. Like I can't. I hate that.
Imposter syndrome, it's real.
Imposter syndrome. Yeah, there you go.
We all get that sometimes too.
Yeah.
Going back to something that you said before, we previously had Emma Breuers on the podcast, and she's a Miss America.
Oh, yeah.
She's half Korean.
Yep.
And we talked about this part where sometimes she never feels like she experienced much Asian racism throughout her life, mainly because she's white passing. She looks much more Caucasian than she does Asian. Two different groups of people, sometimes those that can be white passing and those that are, let's say, clearly Asian. Do you think they experience different trajectories in life?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, anyone that is white passing, you definitely have more privilege, sadly, in this world. I mean, hopefully things are changing and things are getting more equal, but I know people don't know what I am, especially because I keep changing my hair color. It's true.
You are
like,
a
when I have
blonde. You are yellow.
I'm a blonde now. Like I had purple hair, and then like before, when I've had my natural brown dark hair, like I definitely did experience more Asian racism. But because like my hair is different colors, they don't quite know what I am.
Do you get a lot of like people just squinting, looking like trying to figure you out?
I get people literally just asking me
She's
what
like-
I am.
She's like online. They're like, "What is she? Like, should we ask her?" Nah,
What's
nah,
the
nah, nah.
worst? What's the worst guess that you have?
Oh yeah. What is the worst guess?
One time when I auditioned for something, I had a pre-screen for Memoirs of a Geisha.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So the casting was like, what are you? And of course, they're not allowed to ask that. That's against the rules. But once again, baby Alex didn't know how to say, you can't fucking ask me that. So I was like, yeah, I'm half Japanese. And she's like, you are? You don't look half Japanese. You look Siberian. Are you Siberian? I was like, Siberia's a place.
Gosh.
It's like saying, are you Queens? You look Queens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting Queens vibe. Yeah, Siberian vibe.
I know. What I do get is that when I tell people what I am, then they argue with me. Well, you don't look like that.
No way.
I'm like, but I am that.
Yeah.
Like, you're Japanese? You don't look Japanese. Well, I'm half Japanese. Well, you don't look half Japanese. I'm like, well, this is what half Japanese looks like. So what am I supposed to look like?
But yeah, this can be made. Yes.
Are you supposed to carry your 23andMe report around like laminated?
Seriously. Seriously, I should just start doing that.
Damn.
It's frustrating. I mean, I had two guys chase me down the street on 9th Avenue here in New York. What are you? What are you? And that was terrifying.
Damn.
That's terrifying for multiple reasons. The fact that anyone's chasing after you. They could be chasing after you, asking for a bus direction. It would still be kind of creepy.
It'd still be terrifying. So once again, to answer your question, fortunately, I have not experienced any racism as an Asian woman, but I do have to worry as a woman in general.
Of course. Do you find yourself seeing the whole mixed Asian diaspora, both personally and professionally, a little bit different now from when you were a kid?
Absolutely. I feel like as a kid, I really struggled with my identity, mainly because I was constantly being told I wasn't enough. Mm-hmm. And it really kind of fucks up your head. But now that there are people like me out there and I'm surrounded by them, it's just my day-to-day normal. And I feel much more comfortable in my own skin. Like I've accepted who I am. I'm not trying to be anything more than I am. And that's not to say I don't code switch. I do absolutely code switch.
We all do that sometimes. Yeah.
We all do. But I'm really embraced just me and awesome. I'm not going to try to fit into anyone's box anymore. And if you don't like it, too fucking bad.
Yeah, I like that.
Yay, therapy.
Yes.
I think that's what we can all take from it. Just be your natural self.
Yeah.
But that's so much easier said than done. You know, we say it like it's a piece of cake, but it takes a long time to find out who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, some awkward moments where people would chase you down in the middle of 9th Avenue and shit. Do you have any like role models or like mixed Asians that like looked up to or?
Please don't say Henry Golding.
No, I'm not going to say. Oh, he's very sweet. We did interview him once and he's very sweet. Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
He's so handsome.
We have this ongoing joke where we don't really shit on Henry, but we just tease him a lot.
We're just hating. We're drinking a haterade right now.
He's such a beautiful human being.
Oh my God.
He's so handsome.
Yeah.
He's so handsome. And in the top of it all, he's so nice too. And you're like, oh my God. You're nice and beautiful. Ugh. I would have to say, I mean, of course, Keanu Reeves, like, oh my God. Like,
he's the man.
He's the man. He's just another person, a nice human being, right? There's no like negative shit about, I mean, watch, we're going to hear like 5 years from now that he like has an underground, like,
that's when you cross the
slave ring or something terrible, right?
Oh my God.
But right? It's going to be something awful that we never even like, suspected Keanu of. But like,
I really hope not, Keanu.
Yeah. Oh my God, please no. But I really respect him for his work and the charities he does and
he
just
does
being
so
a
much.
Good human. He's really grounded. So I have to say my team, like seriously, Mixed Asian Media wouldn't be here without like Sam Tanabe, Melissa Slaughter, Rebecca Lee Learman. I mean, I could just go on naming them. Like
that's awesome.
They are the heart of Mixed Asian Media, and I'm fortunate enough that they're my best friends and they work with me.
Yeah, that's true too. Like you actually like work with like people you really fuck with. You know what I mean?
I don't have that with this podcast.
Yeah. Yep. You're stuck with me, man. I was gonna say the Keanu Reeves thing. It's like that viral video where he's on the train and he gives up his seat. You know,
like it's strange because Keanu Reeves has a very distinctive look.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but he still takes like mass transit.
I would recognize my.
I am amazed he doesn't get swarmed more.
I'm sure
random
he does,
people.
Bro.
You think so?
But he's John Wick, so people are scared.
I know, probably. I'm determined that we'll get him one day. Determined.
You will.
We will.
Is that your unicorn? Is that like the person that you really want to get
That's my unicorn. That's absolutely my unicorn.
We'll get Keanu after you.
Oh, if I get Keanu, I'm going to be like, hey, I have friends that run this really cool podcast. You should be on it.
Oh my God. He's really into bikes. That's what we do.
I'm gonna find this dealership.
We gotta buy some bikes.
Yeah, we gotta learn how to ride motorcycles and shit.
Just talking a little bit more about the whole mixed Asian Hollywood thing. I've always thought sometimes that mixed Asian actors, and correct me if this is wrong, have an easier time transitioning into larger roles. And I'm not trying to shit on Henry Golding again.
Right.
It does seem like it happens, or am I just seeing what I need to see?
I feel like, once again, a lot of times mixed Asian actors fall into that ambiguous role, right?
Right, yeah.
And being ambiguous is a way for white mainstream America to feel comfortable with something that they are not. In a way, I think possibly that could be what you're saying. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I definitely have made a living being ambiguous, but a lot of times they don't get to tell their stories. It's very rare to get to tell their stories. So there is that other side of the coin. Also, there's just not enough work to go around. Mixed Asians and Asian Americans. There just isn't. That's a lot harder. I don't know. I have found that it's been really hard to break into the bigger roles just because once again, you tend to be, as a mixed person, deemed exotic. And because of that, unless you are the starring role or character, the white producers of Hollywood don't want you upstaging their star, right? And it's upstaging. Like, what the fuck does that mean, right? It's frustrating.
Yeah.
So I think I can see both sides. I absolutely see both sides of the coin.
One final point. Sometimes we talk about how it's difficult to be like Asian, period. Both Ben and I are just 100% of our own Asian. So he's Korean, I'm Chinese. We sometimes feel like that's hard enough. But now that I'm thinking about it, being mixed Asian in some ways is even a lot harder because you both have to deal with the same crap we have to deal with in terms of the public, but also internally as well, while you're trying to figure things out because you have to struggle, I assume, one side to the other. Sometimes you feel like you're in this weird, as you said, ambiguous place.
Absolutely. I feel like sometimes many of us feel that we aren't allowed to have a say when it comes to like Asian American whatever policy or whatever like shit that's happening in the world, and that we're not enough and that we can't speak up. And that is in turn because like a lot of times people from the Asian community will say, well, you're only part, you don't have a say. And that has been said to myself and several other people.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of shitty because it's like, we're a big melting pot here, whether you like it or not. And we're one of the fastest growing demographics. So like, why shouldn't we be part of the community? I think we'd all be stronger together.
Agreed.
We need to stop gatekeeping each other.
Yeah.
There's enough crap
really
dealing with the external factors. Let's not
really
internally make it even more difficult for ourselves as well.
Honestly, and it's a form of white supremacy, right? Gatekeeping each other and keeping each other down. We're just helping the white people out. Like, stop it. Can you imagine if we all banded together and took to the streets? Jesus.
Have you seen that study that in like 200 years, all races will be blended and it'll look like there's one person? And I swear to God, this one person looks like he's Hawaiian.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're not
Just
gray.
mixing all the cultures, all the races, all the DNAs, and then it just looks like The Rock.
It's The Rock.
We're going to get to our favorite segment of the whole podcast. This is a segment we do on every single podcast.
Yeah.
It's called Ranting or Raving. This can be completely off topic. This is a nice lighthearted way to close up every episode. We each take a turn bitching or moaning or even maybe praising something.
Yeah.
That's the raving part.
Yeah.
Most of the time, we're just bitching.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll start things off.
Yes.
I'm going to talk about spam mail. And Alex, this is how we kind of like got a little bit
Oh my God, yes.
mixed up there. So I had reached out to Alex a while ago. And I reached out to a lot of people, because I'm not afraid to get rejected. A lot of times people do ghost me, which I get. It's fine. Keanu Reeves, why are you not pressing reply? Please.
Yeah. Left on scene.
So then I was like, this must have been like 3 weeks after I sent you the thing, right, Alex? And then I just checked my spam folder because, we get a lot of spam and shit. My advice for people is try to check your spam folder regularly because the AI sentient overlords at Google sometimes don't know what spam actually is.
Oh, okay.
So Alex's reply to my initial email went in the junk folder.
Oh,
went into the spam folder.
Went
into the spam folder. I guess screw you, Google.
Yeah, I noticed that sometimes. I'm like, oh shit, and then it's like an old ass email.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they did send it to me.
Because you discover it, like let's say months later, people don't look in their junk / spam folders.
Yeah, that's a good one. You just reminded me. I got to check my shit.
You should check your spam folder too.
Crap.
Maybe Keanu said, hello, he'll come on.
I know, maybe, right? No, I agree. Ugh.
What about you, Ben?
Man, that's a useful rant. Mine's not.
Yours is not
No,
useful.
it's just me bitching. But I'm pretty hairy.
Okay. Sorry, Alex. Yes,
sorry, Alex.
my friend is fairly hairy.
I mean, that's unusual for Koreans, actually.
Yeah.
yeah. It's
but-
not a positive trait, by the way.
Yeah, but like I have like random areas of like hair.
Hi.
Are you sure you want to tell her this?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Alex. Sorry, you're stuck with this.
It's fine. You're good.
But you know what it is? Is that so? I try to shave my back, but it's not that hairy. It's not that I have a hairy back. I know she's like, what the fuck? It's not that it's hairy. It's just I have like sometimes like these like random long strands of hair.
It's like the
Yeah.
Hawaiian Islands. There's just like
Yeah,
little islands
yeah.
in there. Or like the...
If you have an issue like what I have,
Yeah.
how do you can't properly?
So do you just leave those patches?
I guess, yeah. I was thinking, I was like, maybe I was gonna ask someone like, yo, maybe someone could just shave my back for me.
Yeah.
Maybe you
I
can.
used to shave an ex's back.
Actually, my ex did that too for me.
People can't
God
see
bless her.
Alex's
Oh, yeah.
face right now,
No,
but she looks very defeated
Sorry.
when she said that.
Sorry, Alex.
Very defeated.
she's like, actually, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
Well, I apologize on us, hairy back people.
You apologize on behalf of all the hairy people.
Yes,
All the back people.
yes, our indigenous, tribe. We're sorry.
They probably have really long razors. I'm
I
sure.
was thinking that. I was like,
They
a back
must.
I'm
scratcher.
surprised there isn't some. Like, yeah, back
Right?
with a razor. And
Yeah.
Or I just like end up like scratching my whole back up.
And it's just like all bloody.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
but yeah, that's my that's just my random.
What about you, Alex? What do you got?
I guess mushy boba.
Mushy boba. Okay, go for it.
Oh,
Like, boba's tea is expensive out here in the city. And I'm spending like $7-8 on a freaking boba tea.
Yeah.
And then the boba's like just this mushy, like hard in the center, but mushy on the outside
Oh,
mess.
yes.
that
And
is
I'm
the
like,
worst.
I just spent $8 plus a tip on top of that for you. And I get mushy boba? Come on now.
That is the worst kind of tapioca where
Yeah.
I guess it's not cooked all the way. That's probably the issue, right?
It's not on the outside.
Or it's
Cooked.
over, I think it's overcooked.
It's
Is that what it
overcooked.
is?
Overcooked. Or it's been sitting there for a while, so then it gets like hard in the center,
yeah.
but then like mushy on the outside. It's so gross.
Yeah, it's gritty.
I've seen like the recipes to make tapioca pearls, boba at home.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not
No.
fucking easy.
What is it? It's just
Well, you gotta get the
boil it.
tapioca flour and then you
Right.
gotta do... I'm acting like I know what I'm talking about, but whatever.
Yeah, it sounds good already.
The chewy texture is what is good about boba. But then
Yeah.
if you're chewy and then suddenly you hit a rock,
Oh, it's gross.
That's true. And you're right. Your boba is getting expensive.
I swear I used to pay like $5 for
No,
it.
you're
you
right.
did. Back when we were watching Dawson's Creek and the OC and drinking boba, it was probably like $2. But then Chinese takeout, let's say, which I use as like, how do you measure everything? Chinese takeout used to be like
Dude,
$5-6
yo, it's
for like
mad
a whole
expensive
takeout.
now.
Now it's like $10 for like a Chinese
Yeah.
takeout.
You know how much they charged me for 4 wings? They charged me $8.
Just for wings.
4 wings, dude. I was like,
Wow.
fuck.
By the way, just as a disclaimer, please support your small local businesses. Pay the $8 for the wings. It's okay. It's not gonna break your wallet.
Yeah, I still eat it. They know me by name. Like when I called, they're like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Ben?" I'm like, "Oh, thank God."
Chicken wing guy. Alex,
All right.
it has been a very, very fun conversation. We feel like we vibe very well.
you.
It's been very casual.
Yeah.
I will have links to all the stuff that you're up to, including the festival down in the box below. So for our listeners out there, especially if you're in the local area, Ben and I, because Ben and I have different schedules. I've got like a family and kids. Ben has what? Do
I
you
have a dog.
You have a dog. You have a dog. Okay, perfect.
I have dogs.
We're going to try our best to coordinate schedules and actually try to attend this festival as well. So
Yes.
if our listeners want to see Ben's face,
And if you want to shave my back, I will appreciate it.
first listener to show up with a razor gets to shave Ben's back.
You imagine like, yo, I'm here.
I bet there's some listener out there that is like, ooh,
Yo,
I know what I'm doing.
there
God.
is.
I'm gonna eat my words here.
There is some super fan of Ben that probably would want to do that. Let's just
God.
hope that super fan is in New York City and comes to this festival.
Oh God.
For the people on the internet, if they want to see what you're about, what Mixed Asian Media is about, where can they find you guys on the internet?
You can find me at Alex F. Chester on Instagram and mixedasianmedia.com or Mixed Asian Media. Also at ma'am_fest for the festival. I have my website that I do not update enough, alexchester.com. Terrible. But you can visit it.
Stop on by.
You know what's funny? Ben, show up with a Post-it note. Show up with a Post-it
my name?
note.
Yeah.
And just
easy.
VIP.
Just write VIP,
Right here.
Ben on,
Put it right here,
signed by Alex. You can just fake her signature
VVIP, yeah.
and just see how far you get along before we actually bump into Alex.
Oh, I was like, yo, Alex, that's my homie right there. That's my homie.
All right, guys. You can stay up to date with Ben and I on a daily basis by following us at Worst Asian Pod. That's the exact same handle on every single platform, every single social media, whatever new one's coming out 10 years from now. If you're listening to us from the future, you can probably also find us at Worst Asian Pod over there, or go to www.worstasianpod.com. I'll have links to everything, including all the socials, all the platforms where you can listen to us banter and bitch and talk shit about Henry Golding, I guess.
Yeah, we love you though.
Until then, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Peace.
Bye.